SM Entertainment have recently announced their plans for 2023, which included the debut of a new girl group, a new boy group, NCT's Japanese subunit NCT Tokyo, and the debut of Navis. But even though fans were excited about the debut of these new teams, the plans in general received very mixed reactions. These reactions were mostly concerned about the fate of aespa. Once the fans heard that SM was planning to debut another girl group, they argued that the timing couldn't be more wrong. Seeing as aespa has been halting their activities for quite some time, we can argue that SM is currently neglecting and even abandoning aespa in favor of their new groups, and people can't understand why. The group has been very successful since debut and has only gotten bigger with each comeback, so fans were confused at the lack of activities the group was getting. Not only was their last comeback in July of 2022, but the members weren't getting any music-related activities as they were either attending fashion shows or participating in SM's group projects. This has confused fans. If this was any other company, except for YG Entertainment, they would be capitalizing on aespa's success as much as they could. Let's look at Hybe labels for example. They debuted LE SSERAFIM and New Teens, and seeing their immediate success, they haven't stopped from giving the girls one comeback after another and involving them in music-related activities. aespa too had a good start. Black Mamba was highly anticipated, and it showed in the sales and how the song did in the charts. Despite the fact that the group was making music that wasn't very popular among the general public, the records that the group set put them in the same rankings as big groups like Blackpink and BTS. The group hadn't even started promoting properly yet, and yet they were setting the standard for fourth-generation girl groups. Along with the success of the group, the concept was revolutionary among the K-pop industry. They were criticized at first, mostly because people didn't know how people would use the AI concept, but suddenly you saw everyone copying it. Their popularity and success only grew with Next Level, Savage, and especially girls. aespa had started gaining the IT status among fourth-generation girl groups, and girls, along with their Coachella performance, only solidified the status. This is where SM Entertainment should have understood the power that aespa already had early on in their careers and only fed into their potential with regular content and comebacks. But it came as a surprise to no one when SM Entertainment seemingly completely ditched aespa for his new projects. aespa were supposed to have another comeback before 2022 ended, as Ningning revealed, which would have been a pretty smart decision so the company could keep the public hyped up about the group. With so many groups debuting lately and the sudden success that New Jeans have been showing, SM Entertainment should have been planning a few aespa comebacks so they could have a fair chance in the cutthroat competition that is the fourth generation. But they didn't. Ningning said, "There was a plan for this year, but the company's plan has changed and we won't see you until next year." The plans for the comeback fell through for whatever reason, and the only times we heard about aespa were when there were fashion-related events rather than music. This is when fans started getting frustrated, and this frustration only grew when Another Got the Beat comeback was announced. Even though this group project had been exciting to fans at first, seeing SM prioritize it over the comeback of their actual groups got fans angry. Some speculated that this was the initial reason that the aespa comeback got pushed. The public insisted that it's still too early for aespa to partake in things like this since the group has only been active for 2 years so far. Got the Beat's release didn't do well on charts or in terms of viewership, so the fans didn't know why the girls had been participating in it instead of preparing for their own full album, which they don't have yet. They have the vocals, the fandom, and the general public to secure a successful comeback, and SM Entertainment would have a certified hit on their hands, but it seems like they've decided to keep aespa in the basement for the time being. The anger of fans didn't even have time to settle before SM Entertainment gave them another time to rage. Turns out that this time, they have decided to prioritize an actual AI character over the group. Not only that, but they're using aespa to debut Navis. SM Entertainment announced that the AI character that made an appearance in aespa's music videos and had an important role in the storyline would be making her own musical debut. The debut would happen during aespa's VR concert at this year's South by Southwest SXSW festival. This is when hell broke loose. Fans were understandably angry that SM Entertainment were favoring Navis instead of their actual human groups. A comment said, "I wish they would focus on just releasing new and good songs. I get it's part of the lore, but I don't think I'll be interested in an artificial intelligence thing that doesn't add anything music-wise." This negligence on SM Entertainment's part has affected the members too, as they expressed disappointment in not getting a comeback. Karina herself sent a long message on the platform bubble saying that fans might get worn out because of the long hiatus the group has been having. To make up for it, she said that she would try to communicate with fans more and pay them by going on stage and appearing on camera so she can make them proud. She also thanked the fans who have been waiting for the group. Ningning shared the same frustration as her bandmate, saying, "Sorry for making you guys wait all the time. I thought about this today, so I wanted to apologize," making the netizens empathize with the members, especially since they were the ones apologizing when the company company was doing them wrong. This is when the mistreatment of aespa really started coming into attention. First, the netizens mentioned that the girls rarely have comebacks. If they do, the activities and promotions are short-lived, which shouldn't be the case for a group in such a competitive industry. A netizen even compiled a timeline of how aespa have been promoting their comebacks ever since they debuted, and it doesn't look good. The netizen started by saying, most of the idols from the same company have 2 to 3 weeks of music show promotions when they come back and have at least 8 music show appearances. Compared to these groups, aespa don't promote in the first week after the release. In the second and the third week, they get some promotions here and there, but in total, they have 4 music shows before their promotions end. The netizen ended by saying, I don't know why SM started doing these weird music show promotions. When they win number 1, they're not attending. Meanwhile, when they're winning number 2, they start attending. The commenters were wondering what's the meaning behind what SM Entertainment is doing. Not promoting a group that is doing well and would benefit more from attending music shows and schedules is something that we've seen with YG Entertainment. Even though Blackpink are their most famous and profitable group, the group still gets one comeback a year with limited promotions and schedules, and then the members are back to the basement. An 8pan user wrote, Blackpink straight up does that, and it's not like aespa are unpopular, they're doing fine, but their recent song was lacking, so they should be pushing their music show attendance even more. However, rather than Blackpink, their situation is much more similar to their label mates FX. Despite the fact that FX were well promoted when they were rookies, SM Entertainment started giving up on them when they were in their 3rd year of their careers, and then they were treated like a side project. Whatever FX was involved in, it clearly wasn't a priority of SM Entertainment, and they're giving the same treatment to aespa. SM Entertainment is basically treating aespa like a filler group until their new girl group debuts. If SM Entertainment isn't neglecting them, then there's the other scenario of the label using infrequent comebacks to make it seem like aespa are exclusive and out of reach. If aespa don't release music as frequently, then they'll gain this elite and limited image, which is a tactic that YG Entertainment used for Blackpink. However, if this is truly the case, then SM failed to understand that this worked on Blackpink because they promoted non-stop in the first year of their career, making it possible for them to gain a stable fan base. This stable fan base is also why Blackpink can come back only once a year and still sell millions of albums. aespa doesn't have the same large fan base, which is why SM should really work on their strategy of promotion. The worst case scenario is that SM is neglecting aespa because they have big plans for their new girl group. It wouldn't be the first time that SM would forget about their existing groups in favor of the newer ones, so this could be what's happening. Even though aespa are known for their experimental sounds, SM Entertainment must have seen just how well New Jeans are doing, so they could be trying to make a group that could directly compete with them. They could be planning to release more public-friendly songs through their new group, so this group could challenge New Jeans' popularity with the general public. While it's not revealed what concept the new girl group is going to tackle, don't be surprised if this theory turns out to be true. What do you think will happen to aespa, and do you believe that SM is making a mistake? Share your thoughts in the comments, and see you next time. Bye!